We see nothing on the screen.
It's still starting up in the live streaming service. And I'll have to go live. So, okay, we're now live. 3, 2, 1, broadcasting.
There is no sound.
Disclaimer. The information and education material contained herein is meant to promote the general understanding and dialogue of GANs processing. Such information is not meant or intended to serve as a substitute for a healthcare professional's clinical training, experience, or judgment. For patients and individuals, such information is not to be a substitute for professional medical, therapeutic, or healthcare advice or counseling. For medical issues or concerns, including decisions about medications and other treatments, readers, viewers, listeners should always consult their physician or, in serious cases, seek immediate assistance from emergency personnel. Prescription information, procedures, and use of medical devices information should be undertaken only by properly trained and certified medical personnel. We specifically disclaim any warranties, express or implied, including implied warranties of merchantability or fitness for a particular purpose. Such information is provided, as is, and is believed to be accurate at the time of its publishing, but it is the viewer's job to evaluate the accuracy of any information found in this presentation. Every case presented is of their own experience, applied by themselves for themselves, and it applies to their case only. Every person experiencing health problems should seek professional medical advice and consult their course of treatment with a doctor. The processes of plasma balancing described herein are a natural process which supports the body but does not replace medical advice or therapies one is already subject to.
Purest universal knowledge. In a transformative, futuristic design. The Universal Body Enhancement Spaceship Unit. The very first new evolutionary spaceship technology has been rolled out for mass production. Our Universal Body Enhancement Spaceship Unit is constructed from high-quality materials carefully selected by our team of experts. Embedding the essence of the new GAN's plasma science and technology, it uses collective plasma field technology for changing and enhancing the environment of the body of the man. This new plasma enhancement changes the environment of the body to allow it to return to its natural, balanced, energetic condition, as in the womb of the mother, allowing every cell in the body of the man to find its natural, original field strength balance. The shape and field distribution in this new space plasma technology replicates the inner structure of the universe and replicates the balanced fields from which the man was created at the point of inception in the womb of the mother, not only receiving balance in the physical, but also in the emotional sense too. For the first time in the history of man, a system has been developed and delivered, which not only enhances the physical body of the man, but also enhances the emotional part of the user of the system, hence reducing and eliminating many problems that could not be solved in the world of science, to bring the body of the man into near perfection, as at the time of birth. This new spaceship technology can be within the reach of every man today and can be ordered by medical practitioners, sports specialists, and healthcare centers. The Universal Enhancement Spaceship Unit, the future you have been waiting for, is here. The journey from space to spaceship technology has started. Every order is subject to a contractual agreement and might require additional accessories priced separately for applications according to each case. You can order or contact us at office@at.kfm.global for additional information.
Hello and welcome everyone to the 384th Knowledge Seekers Workshop here on Thursday, June 10th, 2021. This is a broadcast of the Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute Education Department and part of the Public Teachings in English. My name's Rick Cremond and I'll be a host today. We also have Dean co-hosting at the studios at KF TV. I will mention we're having some sound issues today, so you may notice some of the ads don't have the sound with them. That's from our end, not your end, so bear with us on that. Thank you. I believe we're ready to begin. Hello, Mr. Keshe. Are you ready to start today's 384th Knowledge Seekers Workshop?
Good morning, good day to you, as usual, whenever you listen to this series of Knowledge Seekers Workshop across this planet, and hopefully very soon across the solar system and in the universe. We welcome you back to our teachings in sharing knowledge, in learning more, and at the same time being able to understand more about the structure of the life, the way it sits and the way it has sat with us as human beings and the rest of the universe for billions of years. We are just start learning gradually what has been the knowledge of the creation for many, many millions of years according to time and span time of the mankind. The time does not go by the mankind's time, as our time is literally insignificant in the whole of the structure of the creation of the universe because it's so minute. We have based our time on the rotation of our planet around the sun at a very slower speed, and then we think the whole of the universe goes accordingly to our time. Time does not exist in the universe unless we decide a beginning and end to it in that gaps. What's been done? What's been transmutation and transportation of energy? And what it means for us to create that time. In a coming time, we will teach you more how you measure time and space in the universe. What this means is that the humanity will learn a new clock time, a new way to measure, where our years and centuries become seconds and milliseconds in the structure of the work of the universe. If we base our time according to rotational, we measure our rotation around the sun. We then measure the rotation of our solar system within the structure of its galaxy when it comes to. And when it reaches back to the same point, millions of years it'll take. In the larger scale, our what we call galaxy is not standstill. Itself has a rotational direction around its center point, be it another larger galaxy or be it the universe itself, the center of our structure. We find out that mankind, as it becomes a passenger of the universe, will start placing different time structures according to what it needs, because according to those time structures will decide at what the strength will travel the span of the universe. Today, we say it takes 1 hour to do a process, or it takes so many minutes to carry out conversion of energy from one state to another. In a coming time, we'll measure in totally different way as we start learning about the universal time, what we call universal space and gap, what comes to what position. Because the universal, what we call galaxial time for our solar system across the solar system of the whole other bunch of them and the universe and the galaxies is totally different. The way we see Jupiter or Mars have different annual time, it takes so many years for them to do one cycle, is the same with our solar system in the galaxy and the galaxy in the universe. We will tune our time because the energy levels in our solar system is consumed and produced in a slightly different way than the energies in the universe, in the galaxy, in what we call in the solar system of the universal condition. What does this mean? Is that we calculate we need so much energy according to the materials which we have in our possession at this moment of time. As we know, as we have moved into a new dimension in space travel, and we work with a magnetic field strength, then the time does not go by how much fuel you carry. The time goes by what strength of gravitational magnetic field you operate, under which scale. Because the gravitational magnetic field on Earth is totally different than the gravitational magnetic field in our solar system, and the same in our galaxy, and the same in our universe. So mankind gets introduced to a totally new concept of calculation, measurement, understanding. But there is one beautiful point about all this, is that our inner being, our what we call a structure of our physical body, the structure of our physical soul, the structure of our ganses inside our body and our soul, all are based on the what we call interaction of gravitational magnetic field. They don't depend on how many gallons of diesel fuel or how many tons of coal or how much wood we burn. Then we understand mankind has come to the point to understand that it has entered the universal community measurement, universal community understanding of time, universal strength of the fields which dictates these conditions. Then we go back to what I call blackboard. We have to restart redesigning. We have to start understanding the operation of our own physical being. How does the gases of my liver, in a time and a space of itself within the galaxy of my body, works? What time it takes, how much it has to give and to take. We will learn that what, for example, we measure at 28 days for a cell of the skin of the man, or a cell of the blood of the man to change, does not have that meaning in gravitational magnetic field strength structure, which means we start understanding a new structure. We don't tank our cells of our kidney. We do not refuel with the solar system our cells of our heart. They work through the interaction of the fields, what they absorb from the environment and what they give to their environment, and what gives them sustenance to exist at the time when they are in that structure, in that position. Because once they move, they change in the structure strength, they move to another position in the body, they move to another condition in the planet system and the rest of it. So in a way, if you look, even the water, even the stone, is in the state of the GANs of the magnetic field of the universe, is not in a matter state as we consider it. This opens our eyes to a totally new way, totally new structure, totally another meaning to structure, to understanding of the work of the magnetic field. It has taken us years to create conditions of measurement, how many kilos, how many kilometers, how much energy to move so much mass to such a point from A to B. We have created Newton laws, we have created momentum and gravitational laws, but none of these exist in the universe. It has a different measurement, it has a different understanding. And the purpose of the teachings from now on is to bring mankind in the coming time into this understanding. What is the time where you are in the middle of another galaxy? You cannot measure it by Earth time. It says it took 2 days to do 1 meter because gravitational magnetic field forces of the environment is so intense that to overcome, to be able to reach it, it takes us out to build it. Let me understand, the whole structure of the existence has changed. We have been craving, we have been yearning to join the universe, to build crafts that take us across these vast spans of magnetic field motions in what we call our cosmos. Now we have to learn its method of work. We have to learn its way of operation. We have to learn how it has come to be. As I said, from the beginning of the first lectures, we don't see Earth to be tanked. There is no fuel tankers and aircraft carriers to come and tank it. Then we understand that we have to change the whole concept, the whole understanding of the knowledge of the universe to the knowledge of our soul, to the knowledge which is embedded in the structure of our life, which has created us. Now we understand we will live 2 time zones. In very much, as I explained in one of my lectures some years ago, it's like we live in a city, a cosmopolitan. In public, we all speak English. When we go home, we speak Turkish, Chinese, Indonesian, Arabic, and the rest. In the environment of the home, we understand the language of the home. Our language of Earth is burning, fueling, tanking, doing everything else. But when we go into what we call cosmopolitan of the universe, these things don't exist. Nobody tanks. It's no good speaking Turkish in the middle of the English community. I understand and no clue. We have to learn the new language. We have to learn the new science. We have to learn the new rules. And this is one of the reasons mankind has been left out of the universal community, because mankind never made the effort, never strived to understand the work of the universe. And with these teachings, we are bringing the humanity to this level. We are bringing you to understand, you speak the language of Earth on Earth, fuel tankers, the cars, the pedal bark, and the donkey. In the universe, we speak about the strength of the fields. What fields, what the strength, which galaxy, which cosmos level, which position in which part of the universe. This is what, in time and in the process of the understanding of the knowledge of the creation, we have to oblige. Otherwise, we still be the citizens of the village of Earth that cannot go to the city and be able to communicate. This is part of the teachings, and this is a part of not creating new systems for you to be able to speak and measure the strength of the fields of the universe, but for you to understand the operation of the work of your soul, your physical soul, and through that, understand how the universe works. There are no universities, there are no colleges, there are no books, because in the world of the interaction of the fields, magnetic fields of the universe, the souls are already educated. They are fully educated. They understand the totality. They understand the beginning to the end of the work of the magnetic field. In a way, you can stay in the dimension of physicality and write about everything about magnetic fields, but you can go to your soul, and it's already PhD, postgraduate in every knowledge of the universe, motion, interaction, and life. In a way, we have to learn the language of the soul, the knowledge of the soul, the existence and its conversion, its operation and its totality. In so many ways, I cannot offer you another enhancement unit. I cannot offer you enhancement in the language section of the creation of the Creator. In a way, we all carry that knowledge within us. None of us has a PhD in anything, and none of us is illiterate. We are all educated, we all understand, and we all can communicate in the language of the universe. If you remember, years ago, I told you when I take you to the universal community, you will be the same as the others. There will be no difference that you can be abused. If you choose the language of the man and the knowledge of the man to take you 7 months to go to planet Mars, yes, there are people who can abuse you in that 7 months across. The abuse of those energies that you don't understand. But if you understand the language of the universe, the time it takes you to look at the Mars, you have already arrived at Mars. If your wish is to be on it, is to wish to be on the one with the strength of the Mars. As it was said in the writing of the Union Press regarding the plasma technology, it says in the coming time, it'll take 1 minute for man with the plasma technology of the Keshe Foundation to go to moon. Now we understand the knowledge seekers of the Iranian scientists have understood the concept fully. Now it's for us to get to that point. It's for us to understand at home we speak the mother language. In the society, we speak the language of the society. On Earth, we would like to burn fuel and feed the cow and milk the cow. In the universe, we take the energies of the universe that we do not to eat the cow or feed the cow or whatever we done on Earth. This is the process of understanding. This is the process of when you interact with your soul, you understand the knowledge of your soul. Then there is one big point for all of you, and maybe for all those who understand this. Then would you, with the knowledge which you gain from your soul, become the prophet of your soul of physicality and your physical life? Then would you become a prophet to the others who have not managed to reach the understanding of the operation of the soul? This is part of the problem which in the process of the teachings of in the coming months and years, we will bear and we will carry out to teach. As I said, upon my return, by the end of this month to Tehran, we start teaching the universal knowledge, the universal language, the universal way of transportation and transmutation. And we think that the humanity is ready to take this step. In so many ways, as I was looking at the venue and the places that Iranian Keshe Foundation, Iranian officials are setting up for the Keshe Foundation to be introduced to the world, is befitting a new knowledge. In a way, when we were looking at the videos today, I said, Iranian nation, Iranian leadership has understood the power of the new technology, and with it is prepared to share with the rest of the world. In so many ways, we are preparing you for the final meeting of you with your soul. For you in a physical dimension to understand the operation of your inner being, which is in touch with the totality of the creation and the creator. In so many ways, as I said, we have no measuring tools, because in the universe, you don't measure. If you come to measure, it means you still are entangled in the dimension of physicality of one way or another, one strength or the other. In a way, when we see, we understand, and we be able to replicate the work of the universe, it means we have started to understand the language of the universe. We have been outside the house. We have put a foot out. We heard the voices and we try to understand. We try to grasp the idea of what it is. In so many ways, it's the language which we have to learn if we want to be the part of the society, if we want to be in it, for it, because of it, that we respect and we want and we desire to be in it. In so many ways, the change of time, the change of knowledge, the change in understanding the process of the creation for mankind has come to be what we'll call the threshold for us to decide. On Earth, we choose the materialistic conditions of this planet. We travel the span of the universe to another planet, to another star, to another position, to another universe, and then we decide to accept the condition and operation of the physicality in that point. We can carry the memory of the physicality on Earth, but most probably we will never be able to replicate it on that point and put its position. There'll be no cows to milk and no donkeys to take you from A to B. The education of the people of in that, or what I call the creation, on that point might be millions of years backwards compared to what you understand, or you will be millions of years behind from them. In so many ways, we have to learn to be that chameleon, and at the same time, through the structure of the soul of the man and created soul of the physicality of the man, in understanding the emotion between the two, be able to travel the span of universe with one common language that everywhere we understand, unless we come back home to Earth and we all speak the Earth language, and that even at that, we have to speak the language of where we land. It's no use being Chinese and landing in the middle of New York and trying to speak to Chinese. Nobody will understand. In so many ways, mankind has reached a point to understand the language of the universe, to understand the process that the soul of the man, the totality of the soul of the man has been operating in the background in the universe, where the physicality of the man has trapped the soul of the man to be kept to Earth. In a way, we are like a dog on the leash, but this dog can go as far as you let the leash go, and when you let the leash go, we have leashed our soul, and we have tied it in the hand of the physicality of the man. In so many ways, we have to realize two things: to understand the work of the universe, to understand the operation of the different strengths of the life in the universe, and in that process, to be able to comprehend it in the language of the brain of the man if we want to. But there is one point for many of you which come up in the future. Am I thinking in the earthly way? Is my emotion the earthly emotion? Or am I speaking and thinking in the dimension of the universal way? We'll come to that point. As I say, when you start dreaming and thinking and moving for a while in the strength of the universe, you will think, and you will live the life of a universal person. But till that time, you have to practice. Till that time, you need to learn the ropes. You need to learn the ways to understand and live in both dimensions and directions. A man at home, but a man of universe outside. As has been said many times, we have to accept the condition, as is us who wants to be part of that new condition. Is us who is pushing to understand the ultimate goal of the creation. Is us who has missed, who has kept unleashed the soul of man to be connected, and we have denied it for it to communicate with us, for it to be able to share with us what it sees outside. We close the door, we close the windows, we disconnected all the means of communication with our soul because the physicality was too good. We could feel it, we could see it, we could touch it, we could smell it. Where and how does the universe smell? How does another planet smell? At the moment, we know a planet have a heartbeat, but what is the smell of planet? What is the smell of Earth? How do we know when we are in a position, another dimension, universe? We smell a magnetic field and say, this is the smell of Earth. I used to live there. I had a connection. In so many ways, we go through the whole new rigmarole of learning universal emotions, universal senses, universal understanding of totality of interaction. In a way, mankind has one big advantage. As his brain in a dimension of physicality has established a lot of miniature connections between all these conditions, between all these emotions, between all these senses, and he will add to it more. At the moment we feel the breeze, if we listen to our soul, we feel the strength of the fields, of the magnetic fields that we are in. It is not just being behind a window and feeling the warmth of the sun and then going outside and standing in the sun, because outside we feel the breeze of the wind. And at the same time, once we become wise to the strength of the emotion of the soul of the man, when we are outside and even maybe in the room, we feel the breeze of the fields which passes in the room or outside. We become aware of a third dimension, which we have ignored through our knowledge and our presence till now. In so many ways, we go outside and we say it's nice and warm and windy, but we go outside and we say it's nice, it's warm, it's windy, and the field flow, the magnetic field of the universe or the planet are in such motion. We feel the real dimension of the interaction of the fields of our planet and our universe. That's only can be done when the mankind uses the technology of the science of his own soul in the dimension of the field, the strength of the magnetic and gravitational fields. Then we understand, as we create different gears for different acceleration of our car, then we will understand how to create and bring different strengths of the fields of the universe to be able to travel faster or to enjoy the breeze of the time. As I said, unfortunately, there is no such a system in the universe that can measure these, because the gravitational magnetic fields created by the interaction of the fields of the universe, which in interaction and collection of it has for temporarily become your soul, is part of it. That's how it was created, out of the interaction and the balance and connection and emotion of the totality. In so many ways, once we let you loose, to be able to use what we call different types of enhancement units, is for you to learn how to operate and how to run and how to feel your soul, how to understand the emotion of the soul, how to live within the structure of the emotion of the mankind, within the structure of the soul of the universe. In so many ways, now we understand why it has been said, I made man in the image of myself. As man will feel as I feel, mankind will understand as I understand. Mankind will be at the same time zone as I am, and will travel with the knowledge and the energies that I travel. as I travel to be the mankind, as I travel to be the part of the essence of his creation, and within it, I operate as me, as the creator and the created at the same time. In so many ways, our soul is a reflection of the interaction of the fields of the creator and the higher order than our physical dimension and strength. In so many ways, we can, if we endeavor to understand, in a coming time, to go to our dimension of our soul, to the dimension of strength of the work of the universe, to the understanding of the operation of the universal community with the knowledge of the man, but with the emotion of the creator. In so many ways, mankind needs now to understand the operation and the emotion of his soul, and understand that the same emotion plus more is within the soul, within the structure and operation of the soul of man. In so many ways, we have brought the totality to be together. We have brought the understanding of the science and technology of the man to be the science and technology of the creation and the creator through the operation of his soul. In so many ways, how many of you will ever reach to the level of the understanding of the creation and the creator is in totality the understanding of the work of your own soul. When you understand the work and operation and the strength of the soul of the man, you have understood the operation and the strength of the soul of the creator. In a way, you have made a pathway. You have understood the operation of the universe. In a way, when we make you to understand the work of your soul, we have made you a man of universe. You become part of the universal community. It will not be anymore waiting to see the alien or UFO. It's you understanding how you can travel this part of the universe, and there are no UFOs and there are no aliens, because we are all part of the same. We are all part of the same structure, the love of the Creator, which by His love, which is the giving, has become us. In so many ways, in what He gives and what He takes to consider and to create us, we are created to be Him, to understand the totality of creation of Him. In other words, when would mankind will become wise to understand that he is of a kind of the Creator. He is not only creator of his own children in the physical dimension, but in essence, in the world of the creation, he is the child of the Creator in the dimension of the soul of the man. Then there shall be no profit, as we have the knowledge of totality from the Creator itself. How many of us in this cycle of existence on this planet at this time will become wise to final knowledge and ultimate understanding of the creation? All depends on our openness to understand the totality and work within the structure of its work. I made man in the image of myself. Think the same, do the same, and work the same. And in so many ways, mankind will come to understand the totality of everything that exists. In a coming time, and in a coming understanding of the work of the universe, understood by man, humanity will take a massive step. In a way, as I said in other teachings, that once one of the mankind are enlightened, he can make the others to be enlightened at the same time to the totality of the knowledge to understand the work of their soul. There is a reason for this. And in many teachings, I have always said that in the statistics provided by United Nations of Mankind, just taken from 10,000 women, from 10,000 tribes on this planet, has indicated that all come from one common denominator, mother. And if mankind and the strength of the soul of the one who gets enlightened reaches the strength of the soul of that mother, that for the first time mankind's knowledge has confirmed the existence of common mother, the whole of the humanity will be enlightened in one instant. And that instant is when the true mother of the creation, Mitra, will manifest itself on this planet, which carried the soul, and every being on this planet will be enlightened. In a way, enlightened through the knowledge of the creation and the created. In a way, become enlightened to understand the totality, the beginning, to understand the connection between the physicality and the soul of the man. And through that process, deliver mankind from centuries and thousands of years of pain and suffering, where man shall not kill, where man will understand the work of the universe and deliver through the interaction of the fields of his soul to feed his physicality, where there shall be no killing, there shall be no war. And this promise will be carried out by us in Tehran. We'll bring an end to earth by sharing the knowledge. We'll bring an end to hunger by sharing the energies of the Creator to the dimension of the Mother creation. In so many ways, we give the knowledge to mankind. And it's the time for humanity to take that huge step, that huge leap to understand the essence, the true essence of the creation in the realm of the Creator. We salute you, Mitra, for your existence. In the way we bring mankind to the true mother of creation, not to this planet, but in essence, Mitra carries the knowledge of the soul of the man too, which the two shall come to be one, and mankind will be enlightened with the new knowledge to be able to understand and transmute between the two. Transmutation of the elements and transmutation of energies will become one, and in that process, mankind reaches the wisdom and the wisdom of the creation. In so many ways, in a coming time, by educating the elite scientists of the planet, we will enlighten to enlarge and teach the elite created and the creation of the Creator. In a way, the totality of this creation will be enlightened as the love of the Father reigns equal upon all. In so many ways, the elevation of the soul of the man will come through understanding of the operation of it, of existence of it, of being there to be able to share, being there to understand the emotion of it, being there to understand the work of it in how to interact the dimension of the strength of the physical state of the field and the dimension and strength of the field of the matter state of the man in respect of the place and the position anywhere in the universe. In essence, we give life to our soul through the dimension of physicality of the earth. But once it's created, it becomes part of the universal community. We are just the nurseries of the creation of the seeds for the whole strength of the universe to interact, to communicate, and to become part of, and to join in totality as one. In a way, maybe for the first time, as I said before, mankind through this technology become wise to understand that the wisdom of existence is understanding the wisdom of the creation and the Creator through the operation of his physicality in any dimension and dominion, and the feel the strength of his existence through the soul of the man. We come to understand the elevation of the soul of the man comes only through understanding the work of the universe and being open to be able to work within it. In so many ways, mankind has moved into a new dimension. In so many ways, humanity has taken a huge step by understanding the concept and the work of the universe. We still will cultivate the land. We still will fly across this planet. We still go to colleges and universities to get useless degrees and PhDs and become more ignorant to the knowledge of the Creator, where the village man on the mountains of Himalaya will be more enlightened than the man with the degrees sitting in universities, because he has no prejudices and he sees the beauty of the creation when he stands on the mountains by looking at the created universe and universe through the stars and the skies. In so many ways, how far our knowledge and how far our soul will elevate itself is according to what and how much we take the shackles of physicality from his prison cell, which is within the brain of the man. The knowledge, the physical knowledge of the man in the past centuries has become another bigger noose around the neck of the man in understanding the process of the creation and the created. And the purpose of these teachings is exactly the same: to free the man from these shackles, to understand the process of the creation, and be able to use it, to apply it, and live within it, and at the same time create a condition for the others to be able to enjoy the beauty of it. A man who understands and keeps to himself is as good as a dead man. Better not exist, as he has not shared none, and he shall not be shared with any by himself. In so many ways, mankind will be elevated to the new soul of understanding. Mankind will be elevated to new levels of understanding of the totality. Mankind will come to be part of the universal community by understanding the work of his own soul. You were waiting for the UFOs, you were waiting for the most advanced technologies to take you to the universe to become part of the universal community. But in fact, you always have been part of universal community. By not understanding the work of your soul, you only looked at within yourself, within the brain and physicality of the man. By understanding to go further inside to and free that soul within, you become within an instant a child of the universe. You become part of the universal community, and with it and in it, you carry the totality of the knowledge, because the knowledge has been the cause of his creation. This is the reason that I said in the past few teachings that in the new way that the mankind will produce his offsprings will change. We will see that in the womb of the mother, we lead to the creation of the soul first, and then to structure the physicality of the field of the planet and the womb of the mother, the physical life will start. As today, you start the physical life with sexual interaction to create, to bring two pieces together, then create the soul. In a new way, you create the soul first, that with it carries the knowledge of the universe first, and then it decides in what shape or form in the womb of the mother it will take shape and manifest itself, understanding all the needs of the physical dimension at the point, the place, and the position. In so many ways, instead of starting back to front, from now on, we start from the front, we go to the back. We go to understand the totality of understanding. We go and pick up the field of the universe, and we interact those fields with the fields of the universe are part of what she sees. And the interaction of those fields will lead to the creation of the soul within the womb of the mother. And then the physicality will take shape. And then the child have the knowledge of the universe in totality. And then mankind shall not kill, as the soul will feed the man. Mankind will never destroy, as he knows is destroying part of itself. In a way, the process of change has to come from within the womb of the mother of the universe, the mother of the creation, and in so many ways, Mitra. In a way, we call it Mitra for a collective creating power, collective understanding the fields and emotions of the universe. And this is a gift that in our cycle we have given to man, to understand, to change, to understand the coming of the new time, that man shall not kill anymore. Man and the animals on this planet will not destroy another cycle. Each soul knows within that entity that is the beginning of another star. Earth is the nursery of the creation of the universe. When you become the travels of the universe through the dimension of the soul, you will know which star, which galaxy has the seed of the earth, has come from the motherland of the mother of the creation, Mitra. In so many ways, mankind will come to understand is not privileged to be white or black. It's privilege to be the soul of the creator. It's a privilege to be the beginning of the soul of other beings in the realm of the creation and the created. In so many ways, how would you like to see your soul? Now that you understand, you have the capability, and you're not only capable, you've been made to become that shining star in the center of galaxies. And some of you who elevates to a higher level understanding of the creation will become the center seed of the universe. In so many ways, there is no education, and there is no university, and there is no dimension in direction of the emotion of the creation, except in the strength of understanding the totality of knowledge of the Creator. Now you understand, as I repeat again, why we have created the enhancement units. For you to see your soul, and through understanding of that, to be able to elevate your soul. Our job is not to give you and keep you away from cancer. Our job is to create a condition that you take your soul with the knowledge of the creation and the created in the beauty of His creation to the other dimension of the universe. In a way, we allow you to live a perfect life. That death and the killing and destruction, which has been the pattern of the physicality of the man, this time, by allowing the soul of the man to be created, the earth will not exist. We create the perfect man through the interaction of the soul of the man, to become and to be created first. In so many ways, mankind is a different kind of man when it comes to understand the work of his soul. It comes to understand the operation of understanding the strength of his soul. Try to look not with the eye of the man within, but try to look with the sense of the eye of the Creator within, and you shall find your soul, its operation, and its understanding. Maybe there is time for humanity to take the next step, the next leap in education, to understand that the next step for man is to understand the creation of his soul, the mother, the seed, and through it to live and exist through all dimensions of the existence. I hope I have enlightened you to understand what is to come. And I hope the work of the man scientist will create the dimensions and systems that allows you to know your soul better, that through it, we will not have the physician of the physicality of the man, we'll have the scientist to understand the process of the elevation of the soul of the man. Not in the name of the religions, but in the name of the work of the soul of the man himself. As he enlightens to understand more, as he understands more, he reaches closer to the dimension of the totality of the knowledge of the Creator, which led to the totality of what we call creation. In so many ways, now, in the process of coming time, we have to keep busy. Not just because understood our soul will desert and we go. In so many ways, we don't want to see what happened in the Southern America, that we find the cities without citizens and abandoned and is given back to the jungles. We don't want to see the mankind, by understanding the work of his soul, to abandon the earth, that then creating a new souls and seeds for the creation of the other universes to stop. Mankind has to understand that there is a beauty in the structure of the mother nursery of the universe, planet Earth, where Mitra took the first step to convert itself from the soul of the mankind to the soul of the physicality of man. And then we have seen what has led to the rest of it. In so many ways, every plant, every created, every animal, every being is a soul seed for the next step in the universe. When we cut a tree, we take a soul. When we kill an animal, we dismantle this dimension and direction in its evolution of the maturity. And this cannot be done. In so many ways, mankind has to reach to a total understanding of the purpose of its creation and why everything around him is being created. As we go to the dimension of the universe, we'll find that Earth is just another cell in the structure of a bigger jungle, a bigger structure of life of the universe. We are just one cell in the totality of the structure of the creation. In so many ways, try to understand the operation of your soul. Try to understand how you can get to it, that you can get to the totality of knowledge of the creation, and instantaneously you become a member of the universal community. Unless you choose what you fancy as UFOs and you see come and go, because those souls have managed to reach the elevation of the soul and the teaching that we have given to the man. In some way, we have brought this knowledge to man to thank man for creating such a beautiful souls that have become, in maturity and understanding of the balance of their work, the souls and the seeds of other galaxies and universes in the universe. In a way, we have come to create a perfect being that it creates perfect cycles of life by teaching man that the perfection comes from understanding of his soul and not feeding his physicality to become the greed of killing and the rest. Thank you very much for today, and I hope you understand the total essence of the creation. We thank those people who are in the background working to bring the situation for the teaching of the Keshe Foundation to become part of the international teaching, to understanding of the work of the science and technology, and through it, the knowledge of mankind. We salute His Eminence Ayatollah Khamenei Iran for opening the new science to the world through the new education which will start in Iran. And at the same time, it's not just Iran, but it's totality of us that the banner of mankind will elevate to that point. In so many ways, the beginning of the knowledge of the universe will start in Tehran in the coming weeks. And will come We welcome as many as you that would like to join us in education, in the institutes and the universities of Tehran to become the knowledge seekers of the universe. In the coming time, the Iranian officials will announce the operation and opening of these structures that will teach the whole of humanity with new knowledge. But the option is yours. Take to the flight of fancies and run your UFOs and try to run your engines with no fuel, or learn to travel the dimension of the soul of the man and become part of the universal community. As when you become part of the universal community in another point and dimension and position in the universe, when you take the dimension of physicality, now you have to live with their education, with their understanding and their style of life. In a way, you change the village of Earth to another village in another city, in another part of the planet and in the universe. In so many ways, we open the knowledge of universe to humanity in the coming days, and we do not expect much. As man has always been a slow learner, but when he learned, he became a perfect child. Thank you very much for today, and I hope we go back again to our normal 9 o'clock Central European teaching next week, and with it, as we travel to Tehran, we'll change our time to Tehran Central Time of Teaching, but European standard that we can understand the totality. I would like to thank the Iranian officials and the Keshe Foundation Iran, who's working relentlessly to bring everything in operation, especially those who are running our operation in Tehran and across Iran. Thank you very much. And if you like to go through a break, we come back and we answer any questions. So we learn from each other as we share knowledge. Would you like to go to a commercial break?
Very good. Thank you, Mr. Keshe. And I think Dean will do that for us. Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the 384th Knowledge Seekers Workshop here on Thursday, June 10th, 2021. Mr. Keshe, are you ready to start the second part of the show?
Yes, we are ready to go. I think there is something in your, what I call, section of the sound somewhere. When you switch off, everything switches off. Because we see the videos where we don't get the sound on the YouTube, but the TV is correct and it goes through with the voice. Something on the YouTube where we have a problem. There's somewhere the sound doesn't switch off. Okay, can we go? Can you hear me? Hello, Rick?
Yeah, just a minute, Mr. Keshe. I'm having an echo happening here. There. As far as I know, the sound is not coming through. The sound is not coming through for everyone on the Zoom.
Yes, it's the Zoom and live stream. Otherwise, the television stays on the YouTube. Okay, can we go on? Can we go ahead with other questions?
Yes, we have.
I can hear the voice call back on your end.
Yeah, I'm trying to close some windows here. I've got something happen. Okay, there. I think it's done there now. Okay. Yes, we have some hands up here. We have Hassan. Would you like to go first? You should be able to open your microphone there now, or perhaps you didn't wish to have your hand up. Okay.
Hi, Rick. Hello, Mr. Keshe.
Hello.
This is Sam, but I guess by mistake I raised my hand. So
no problem. Every mistake is a good mistake. How are you?
Good, thank you. How are you, Mr. Keshe?
Not too bad. How is your teaching in Farsi going on?
Well, it's going well, and I hear from the response of the students, so they're very pleased. So, and I can feel it, and that's very good. And I'm also learning more about how to teach, and I'm getting better at it. It's been over 2 years, and also I'm doing some teachings on the side. Mm-hmm. I've been invited to talk about the science of the creation. They found about me from the video that I did about Corona. So I was invited to a group of 20 people, and they wanted me to talk about the magic water, which was the 1 cup, 1 life gas. And it was one of my live experience, and it went quite well. And then they said to me, we want you to come every month, because they get together the first of the month. So they want me to come the beginning of the month. So it also depends on my time. So I'm planning to go 1st of July and talk more about soul. And also I'm learning more how to present in a live, live audience with them. So how do I teach? How do I talk about the science of the creation to people that they don't know much about plasma technology? And one of them said that she has been to many conferences and she really knows a lot, but when it comes to plasma technology, she gets lost. Of course, I know this. I've been studying for many years. For me, it's easy, but I have to learn how to make it simpler for other people to understand. So that's something that I'm learning, not to basically say what I know, just basically make sure that they understand it in a much simpler way. And I think that's the key, that I'm striving to learn that.
That's fantastic. We need many, many teachers. to teach in the language of the people that they understand, and how we convey the message of the knowledge of the creation. Thank you very much, Assembly. I wish you all the best.
Thank you, Mr. Keshe.
And if you need help, don't call me. I don't have enough time. You're on your own. just go to your soul, and I'll be there to support.
No, it's true. You know, many times I went to my soul and I asked for your help. You know, when I needed you, and actually you saved me many times, and I felt your presence. And other things that I learned is when it comes to the teaching, we can go actually to our soul. And it's amazing that what I wanted to say from the beginning to the end, when I let go, everything happens beautifully, naturally. And it seems like I've already rehearsed that, but it comes in a more natural way. And I observed myself during the session, and I'm connected with everybody, and I'm looking at their eyes, and I'm looking at the responses, at the question they ask. But then it just goes so beautiful and it's smooth. And I think there is also a technique that they learn in a public speaking, how you can actually go inside and allow your soul basically to take over, and things come from not you forcing it, but it comes naturally, because we have the knowledge, we have the understanding of it, but how are we going to convey that? That's the thing. And you know, there are some techniques. Actually, somebody said to me that, you know, she's willing to teach me basically when you put a picture out there, and you don't have to memorize, you don't have to really, you know, have all the details. Basically, then it comes from your soul. And I think I'm already doing it, but I like to learn a technique, and maybe I can be better at it. But thank you for your support, Mr. Keshe. Thank you for being here.
You don't need a picture. You just go to your soul. Otherwise, then you need a cow, and then you might have a motorbike to be there for you to get gain confidence in your own soul. And it's teaching. When you teach in a masses or in a group, you're not there, and your knowledge is not at the strength that 20 out of 20 understand. Your soul tuners to the soul could be 1 or 2 or 10 who understand this, are there to be enlightened to a further step. And that's what it counts. Because we can enlighten everybody at the same time. As we say, we can take all the horses to the water, but we can't get all of them to drink, because some of them are not thirsty. And some of them are thirsty, but if they satisfy their thirst, they cannot come back and do it on their own. So when you teach, don't think that I have to have something. Teach through your soul. And 1 soul at a time, maybe 10 souls at a time. You touch part of 1 at 10%, and some at 50%, some at none. But once you start the cycle, the one which is none today could be 100% the next time. So our job is not to measure or to idolize or bring something up. It's to teach and let the soul to decide if it's reached us. When you teach, there has to be a soul which is the receiver, otherwise your teaching will not start. And this is the whole essence of it, and the whole understanding of teaching. Because I get requests by many teachers, can you come into my teaching? I need to explain. But I'm there in the soul, and then your teaching will be enlightened. Physically, I'm here for a few more years. What happens to the teachers of the next century and other centuries? You tap into the soul of the man, and you'll find me within the man. And then the knowledge is yours. The way I never use notes, I teach from the notebook of the universal knowledge. You will understand how to tap into, to be accessed through me or through yourself directly to the knowledge of the universe, when you understand the level of the strength of yourself. Man independence comes from the knowledge, and man is knowledgeable to the knowledge of the Creator through his soul. Man does not need no teacher, unless he chooses to be guided, and hopefully Those who guide man understand the knowledge of the creation independently and selflessly. When you are selfless, then you can teach unconditionally. Thank you very much, Hassan John. Now I wish you all the best.
Thank you, Mr. Keshe. Thank you.
Any other question?
Oh, yes, we always have lots of questions here. We've got a couple of hands up and we have a number of questions in the Q&A, specifically a number from Harold Newman. Maybe I can ask his first question, which is a good one. Is the heartbeat of a planet or a star the same as its frequency or vibration?
No.
Can you elucidate a little bit about that?
The heartbeat of a system comes from the interaction of the plasma of the gravity and magnetic field. Frequency is a matter state vibration to penetrate space gap within the structure of the atomic structure. Totally different. We don't have frequency in the heart. A true heartbeat comes out of the balance of the two fields of gravity and magnetic fields. Tesla understood this, but he could not bring it home. He could see it, but he could not grasp the totality of it. And when he came very close to it, he could not physically build a system for it to show it, as he had no access to the dimension of the gases, another plasma. He worked within the structure of physicality. Heartbeat comes from interaction of the fields of the plasma, not from a frequency.
Okay, I think there's a lot to think about there, but it does lead to the next question from Harold in the Q&A. Does the Magrav of a planet enhance or detract from its heartbeat?
In a way, it depends how the structure of the Magrav of a planet is set and what is its purpose. Is it to increase, or is it to suppress the certain fields of the system? Many knowledge seekers, many knowledge seekers have built Magravs and never understood why some of the Magravs don't work or they can't feel anything. Because your top Magrav, top ring, has been constructed, as you think correctly, the wrong way. You're suppressing the power creation, you're suppressing the release of the fields. And in so many ways, many of you don't follow the structure of the production of the Magravs the way it should be. You put in one coil the opposite turning to the other, and you suppress your field. And because you learn it the wrong way, none of the Magravs you work works. Because in a way you put two currents facing each other. And in a way you create a zero interaction. And the Magravs of the planetary system are created by the interaction of the fields, dictating the layers and everything else, the field dimension and the gas dimension and the nano-material dimension. So the way the top layer of a structure of the Magrav system is set, or a planetary system, dictates the effectiveness of the release of the fields and dictates the position of the planet in its solar system. We have the same thing at the end of our bones. The nano layers at the end of our bones, like femur, when we look, is Magrav position strength dependent structure. Look at the very, very end layers, very, very top layers, position of the last holes and cells on top of a bone, and then slice it every millimeter and see how it changes. And then you understand the position and strength of the fields has led to the creation of certain structures in the bone, which is porous. If you look, you can chew, you can damage, you can cut very easily on the top layers of your bone at the joints. You can't do that when you get to the main stem of the bone. It's solid rock. The slight softness of the top end is the space gap field energy, which the nanomaterial positioning allows the body to transfer bone marrow into anything, to be a part of a field strength of the hormone, or to be part of the T cells or B cells of the body of the man. And this is what you will learn very quickly.
Okay, Harold, let's carry on with a couple of Harold's questions here because there's a similar line of reasoning. He says, I can see how a 2-core or a 3-core reactor produces magnetic and gravitational fields, but how does a single-core reactor produce its Magrav?
The same as the 3. With the 3, you extend the step wide. If you make the 3 1 centimeter apart from each other or 20 centimeter apart each other, if you know how to tune the field strength of them, you will have the same strength 20 centimeter apart than 2 centimeter apart. You choose the combination of the field strengths of the plasmas you bring in that core to interact.
So the single core reactor would be putting out both the magnetic and gravitational fields. Perhaps that
doesn't Earth do that?
Right.
Doesn't
Exactly.
Earth do that? Any other question from somewhere else?
Yes. We have Marinez with a hand up, and Salamea and Ginger. See, Marinez, if you can go ahead first, or your hand just came down, so I'm not sure if you're still.
Let me explain something if we have time. There are a couple of points that we would like the knowledge seekers to understand. Upon my return to Iran in the coming days, we will invite the knowledge seekers from across the world to join us in Tehran. Those who are there to take the steps in the knowledge of space development and understanding of the work of the what we call flight systems in the field of the plasma. We invite the scientists from across the world to join us in seminars and conferences in Tehran that brings the knowledge of the space technologies around the world in the same level together, that we have no differences and we find no differences. So if you are a knowledge seekers who would like to join us, not just come make gases and nano-materials, but in the level of the space technology, we give you a link. You can make a request and upon approval by the organizers, you can join us as part of the knowledge seekers in Iran. We open the knowledge to all the knowledge seekers around the world, and be it in agriculture, be it in space energy and medicine and every other thing. You can join the new structures which we will set up to learn the new space technology. How do we create materials in the space to build the brick, if we want to build the brick, how do we create materials that it gives us the properties of aluminium and allows us to build on Mars and Moon? In a way, the new evolution in the science starts in the next few days as I return back to Tehran. And we would welcome you if you are scientists or you know the scientists who are at this level of understanding, who can join us to bring humanity to a new level of science and technology, evolution in science. As I said, as I return back to Iran, and the time we spend there to bring the world scientists together to set up the newest structure of the science and technology, it's the time when many knowledge seekers who've been around and understand more, many scientists amongst you, to join us, to learn, and then to teach in your mother language to the rest of the knowledge seekers of the planet. The Keshe Foundation, in conjunction with the Iranian authorities in universities, will open these doors of the teaching internationally for many of you who want to go through that evolution of the science and technology. We have promised by 6th of June 2022, we make every endeavor that the Iranian space scientists, in conjunction with many others, will land within minutes on Moon. We change and transfer the capitals invested in war and defense into technology and new science. And as knowledge seekers, as you've been around for a long time, and you understand more in the technological advancements of the plasma technology, we invite you to join us to bring this change. But the man shall not make for arms, and he spends all his capabilities in humanity. And so the next step after that is for humanity, you knowledge seekers. And on the other hand, as we said before, Keshe Foundation new exhibition center is opening up. Hopefully, we are primarily opening it for major people who want to invest in the enhancement news and technology in the nations, and then be open to public. We try to endeavor to do it in a short as possible time, as the center will be set up from next week. We release the address of the exhibition center hopefully by next Thursday, but please make sure we only accept by appointment. And you have to understand certain countries are still under the condition of the corona, what we call restrictions. Please abide by the rules, international rules. There are certain rules across the certain part of this planet that allow one-day excursion for business and scientific interactions. If you are of that group or you want to come for one-day visit, you can get a visa sorted. You don't only need to show negative corona certificate to come and go. Those can be made. The new exhibition is extremely close to the airport, so it will not be much for you to come in and to go. And in the coming time, the Keshe Foundation will set up what we call shuttles from the airport into what we call the exhibition center. The exhibition center will extend in later part of this year as part of it to become hopefully a 7,000 square meter manufacturing site of the Keshe Foundation in Austria. And we are making every effort to reach that point. We are still looking for a huge number of knowledge seekers who would like to join this operation. We are looking for producers that through the Keshe Foundation television and editors, we can promote the new technology through what we call TV channels of the Keshe Foundation. The company as a whole was registered, completed, and now we are in the process of the next step of recruiting. And hopefully we are looking for people who can make the technology to be seen and understood by as many more as possible. Thank you very much, Rick. If there's any other question.
Thank you, Mr. Keshe. Let's see, we have Salamia with the hand up here, and then Ginger. Can you go ahead, Salamia?
Hello?
Yes, hi.
Yes, you can. Okay. I have two questions. One is related to entropy and counter-entropy from our plasma science. And when I say entropy, I think about the way in which we create energy on this planet, and this process creates a lot of entropy. And plasma is a solution to stop, to finish with this kind of creating energy by creating entropy. And how we do this with a plasma science, we create counter entropy. And second is related to charge. I know that plasma doesn't have charge, but I found in the teaching of Mr. Alex the definition that the charge is energy in motion. And I'd like to clarify this, if it's possible, please. Thank you.
I think you got to ask Alex what it means when it says charge is energy in motion.
Yes, it's correct.
Then you have to ask what and how he looks at this and what is the interpretation of the understanding.
Yeah.
And about the entropy, you have to explain yourself exactly what you mean in what sense of plasma.
Also, I found in the teaching of Mr. Alex the term that plasma is counter entropy. It's counter entropy.
Can you explain in the English language, because we have many people who don't speak English, what does entropy mean in your understanding?
Yes, in my understanding from the this science, but not from new science, because I don't know from new science, entropy it's a order, it's a degree of disorder in a closed system, or of complexity, and is directly proportional with the complexity. And I know that in plasma science, complexity is not entropical, it's counter-entropical. And when we have entropy, also we lose, Mr. Alex said that we lose heat, but
I think we better bring Alex up, let him explain. Alex, you're sitting in the background, I can see you are there.
Yes,
Would
he's
you
here.
like to come in and answer, please? You just got to unmute yourself, Alex, if you're not still asleep.
Maybe he's not available.
Enabled his microphone, but he'll have to actually unmute on his end. So
yeah, he's been promoted. We're just waiting. Oh, there he is. Hi, Alex.
Good day, good day. Let me just, 1 moment, please. Hear me?
go ahead again.
Hello, can you hear me?
There's a bit of noise.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm at work, and I'm also the internet is extremely unstable at this
sorry.
point in time. But I'm going to So entropy, the way I understand it, is the loss of heat, which represents the loss of energy, and life, as you know, is counter-entropic because very temperature. So
Sorry, you're breaking up, Alex.
Our bodies temporary.
You'll have to
I
give
think,
that
Alex,
last
you
sentence to
better
us
do.
again.
Alex, we are losing you. You're in a chop position. Chop, 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 chop. I believe that too.
Since the
We can't hear you.
I think this is a coincidence.
I think you become
Not a
very
coincidence.
anthropic yourself now with your voice.
Well, we're
It's a
all
difference
having a
between
bit of a shaky
life
internet.
Pardon?
It's the creation of the universe.
We
The
caught
generation
that.
of life is part of the generation of life is part of the creation of the universe. It's a natural
Yes.
process.
But is isometrically anthropic or is not?
It's a physical reference.
Mhm.
It's a physical reference of a plasmatic construct.
Now you can answer the question.
Yes, I have to understand that is a reflection in material life of I mean the construct in material in physicality of plasmatic reality. Did I understand well, Mr. Alex?
Yay, got it.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Alex, and thank you very much, Mr. Keshe.
I think you have to put Alex this as part of your teaching for next Sunday. You have to explain yourself in more detail.
Yes.
You are making a lot of new topics which a lot of people don't understand, and it has to be explained. And you cannot make mistakes, because at that level, a lot of misunderstanding comes from the lack of the knowledge of, or too much wrong knowledge of the listener. Thank you very much, Alex, for all your work. Thank you very much. What's the next question, please?
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Rick, what's the next question?
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Keshe. We have Ginger here. Would you like to go ahead, Ginger?
Hello all, and Mr. Keshe. In reviewing the commandments that are on the website, I especially number 22, which was detachment. And my question is, where can I access? Are they manuscripts, ancient manuscripts? Where can I access this information? Where you, of the commandments?
The Ten Commandments has been known.
No. The other ones I'm speaking of.
Yes, the balance of the totality is part of the Keshe Foundation teaching. We have it in one of the teachings because it's gone through.
Pardon me. I did review that teaching. I went back and listened to it. I think it's 204, and it was never mentioned where Where are those? Where did they come?
It was all destroyed by Moses. He was given, but he never revealed.
Okay, and then where did you access that information? Where is it written, I guess, is where? Is it
We said it to be written.
who said it to be written?
We leave it to the knowledge that which has come to you through the source and to understanding.
Okay, well, I'm still a little confused, but I'll put it to rest. I've been studying, you know, the Law of One, the Emerald Tablets, all the ancient manuscripts, and
Why everything has to be ancient that you can follow? What about if it's not written in the ancient? If I give you a message and you don't convey the whole message, only just give the part which suits you to your child, is it the fault of me giving you the whole message, or you who decided part of it is not good for my child to hear, or is not a part of it to my benefit if my child hears it? You understand?
So it came to you through spirit, the soul?
We leave that to your understanding.
Okay, well, all right. So I'll put that on the back burner. And then
one day we'll come to the front burner.
no, I believe it, but it was just interesting to say when someone said I saw, hold on, let me pull it up. I saw that was the specific. I remember seeing Moses. So who is the I guess, is who I'm trying to connect with. I want to connect with it. I want to understand it. And
I is the creator.
Okay, I is the creator. Okay, I love that. Got it.
You don't love it, that's how you start.
Okay, I can't love it. Okay, got that.
You can love it, but it comes that I know what you're trying to say, that I'm trying to be very precise in explaining without diverting. A lot of the teachings is the knowledge which comes through what you are used to relate to as the voice of the creator, independent of knowledge and the present understanding of mankind.
And I've heard his voice, so we're on the same page on that. I totally understand. I got it. So that's, I deal in I guess the metaphysical is the best way to
put it.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
And then one final thing, I understand that in September of 2019, you shifted from a nonprofit into a corporation, correct?
No. Keshe Foundation stands as a non-profit organization. In around about 2018, or around that time, we invested in purchasing a Magrav corporation, which is in the stock market, because Keshe Foundation itself cannot get involved in any kind of commercial activities. So we run the operation of the Keshe Foundation in different shape or forms through my name and through the corporation, which is transferred back to the what you call Keshe Foundation, factories and corporations, like as you see Magrav. And Magrav was bought on behalf of the Keshe Foundation to structure the work in North and South America only. Magrav is not an international corporation of the Keshe Foundation. The European operation of the Keshe Foundation will be stock marketed in Frankfurt. The Chinese operation of the Keshe Foundation will go through Shanghai Stock Exchange market. The Middle East and Asia operation will go through Tehran Stock Exchange, where All these will be owned by the Keshe Foundation, and all its incomes will be spent directly on the programs and the processes and the factories and the spread of the knowledge and technology and the rest of it. Instead of making one international corporation from one nation, as we have the operation of the Keshe Foundation connected by Universal Council and the Earth Council members to each continent and language, each continent will benefit from the operation of Keshe Foundation in that continent. Magrav is the beginning of the work. The Keshe Foundation, what we call a team in the background, are in the line of the setting up and purchasing other corporations and stock exchanges around the world. And through that, Keshe Foundation will operate to benefit the humanity in totality. We are not a corporation that, like, let's say, Microsoft, that operates headquarters only in the US. The corporation of the Keshe Foundation, the stock exchange market entry, which started in Magrav initially, and we saw immediately some problems, and we had to stop and incorporate and reorganize, will come in a coming time that what we call like Magrav is the valuation of the investment of the Keshe Foundation in Brazil, Mexico, United States, Canada, Argentina, and the rest. We will not mix the two. Then the other name of the Keshe Foundation you will see in Frankfurt, in Beijing, in Tehran, and in the coming time, we will choose a nation in Africa to represent a stock exchange of African, which is solid and not volatile in that process. These are all in the pipeline. The different groups of the Keshe Foundation are already working into entry of the Keshe Foundation through the investments which are coming through, and we will be owned and operated by the Keshe Foundation itself for the whole of the humanity.
Okay, and then, so you have been removed from the American stock market? You're
We
no
are
longer,
not removed. No, we are still there. Magrav is still there.
Yeah.
We don't speak about it. There's a reason for it. President Trump took a direct step in blocking the Keshe Foundation in certain ways. And we are, with the new administration, now the work, we are changing it. And Magrav is a company which has been in the establishment since 1981. Millions of shares are in the stock market in
Yeah.
hand with people.
I invest-
Yes, we have addressed a lot of problems which Trump, through the other things, brought for not only Keshe Foundation, but a lot of things. Trump had an idea that a corporation in the US cannot be owned by an Iranian nuclear physicist, where he was opposing all the nuclear problems. And in the communication, which is a part of the OTC objects to Keshe Foundation to be in the structure of the management, which is criminally illegal. But now we have addressed it, and we'll see what comes up, because anything we disclose can affect the share values of the market.
Yes.
But in a way, the valuation of the market will be our investment, which now will be launched in the US through, like Mexico now is going into operation, has been revamped, we started. We had a setback. We had to wait for the President Trump to be removed from the office, the way we saw it. The way he was forced out, he forced a lot of things illegal in his operation during his presidency. And Magrav now, through the new administration, through new understanding, is getting restructured and owned in a way through knowledge and technology of the Keshe Foundation, is still by majority shareholding. And in the coming time, you will see Keshe Foundation in every stock exchange of each continent which we see appropriate. We'll manifest ourselves very soon in Shanghai. We will be in the coming time in the what they call Frankfurt Stock Exchange. We looked at it with the London Stock Exchange. I was in London very recently. I spoke with some of our people, and we decided we move the stock exchange into Frankfurt. And in that process, we will see Tehran as one of the major shareholding of the Keshe Foundation structure worldwide. Each continent has to be able to support is a structure, and then this allows the Universal Council members and the Earth Council members to be able to manage financially all the countries in that continent. The simplicity of our forefathers dividing this earth into continents has made it for us easier to be able to manage with our operation. But all the health centers, factories, any operation in Europe will go under the Frankfurt Stock Exchange. Any operation in China, or like the new factory we have bought, the new structure will be transferred to the Keshe Foundation in Shanghai. And we allow each one to operate and grow according to the structure of the country.
So thank you. So meanwhile, who is capitalizing all this? Like
What do you mean capitalizing?
funding? Where's the money coming from?
Mehran Tavakoli Keshe.
Pardon?
Mehran Tavakoli Keshe.
Okay, there we go. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And that leads to
What comes through different funding of the Keshe Foundation with the wishes of, and what we have at private assets, everything, funds has funded these operations for past more or less 15 years. We have a lot of collaborators. We have a lot of people who work with us in different shape or form with the fundings and other ways, and we sell off the goods and everything else, which funds most of our activities. We're going, you got to understand Keshe Foundation is not something that it wasn't then. Keshe Foundation is a baby which was nourished over past 40 years and now officially in past 17 years, 16 years. And now it has started taking shape internationally in a different way. We have and we are collaborating with the governments now. We've gone from the smaller structure now into the governmental structure. Keshe Foundation, like in Iran and in China and other places, now works with the government's research and research funding. This is the step we started now, which means the governments fund us for the research we do for delivery of technology to the nations. This is a big step for the foundation, moving from small operations and knowledge seekers to work now that we have built the factories up, we started building everything up, that we do not sell products of the Keshe Foundation alone anymore. We solve the problems of a nation, we show a solution, and governments now finance us for the research and development of new technologies. We have taken a new step in the recent past where up to now we showed what nano-material does or what gases do. Now government pay us to develop or to research for problems which exist. Now we've gone into different directions, and even today, some of our heads of knowledge seekers are in these positions, are negotiating on across this planet with different government organizations, agriculture, space, and the rest. I have moved the Keshe Foundation in a totally different dimension. Now, especially like the factory in China, most of the income of the factory will not come from sale of products. It'll come with finance for the new research and development of new technologies by government and institutes. And this is not anymore a few pennies, is millions of dollars are paid to the Keshe Foundation, and we're working on these contracts. It takes us 6 months, a year, whatever. We have received the first initial steps to set up to solve the problems, and with it, we are financed for research. And the spin-off of these research will come through the Keshe Foundation factories to public or to use in nations. We have moved in a next step up to work to find solutions for the problems of corporations and governments, and we get paid to find a solution. And these things are will be very profitable for development of the new technologies. We still stay independent of the government, but Like they pay every other research center to find a solution. Now we get paid to find solutions through the new technology to change dimensions. And we already have operated and we are operating on this level in a number of countries that changes our position. And it has been extremely profitable venture for what we call the organizations who've gone this way. Now, as we don't make profit, we put it back in. The whole structure, Keshe Foundation, has changed. And for this reason, we are taking Keshe Foundation to the stock market to allow more massive finance researchers to come in, buy sales of the share and know-how technology of the Keshe Foundation, which is in the back. Products will be a small fraction of the total operation of Keshe Foundation, most probably within the next few months. Most of our extensive research will come through solving problems for institutions and governments, which we are already working on it. We've got a few projects running like this, and we will see.
I love the solutions. Always been my premise. Don't bring me problems, bring me solutions.
You have to tell us what the problem is that we can find a solution. But now we have gone a step higher in that process of becoming an organization which works with governments, and government financing is huge when it comes to new projects, finding new solutions. We show a small improvement or success, and the government backs it up for a bigger scale. You got to realize I come from the breed of working with governments. I made my wealth not from the small operations, by working with governments in big operations. And now we are bringing that into the operation of the Keshe Foundation in different countries, in different ways. And even today, in 4 or 5 nations, our Keshe Foundation knowledge seekers on the top are dealing with local governments or with national governments in finding solutions or bringing a new dimension, be it in agriculture, be it in medicine, be it in space technology. There is one reality, is that once we move into Tehran, the Iranian Keshe Foundation team will take over the whole management structure of the running of the Keshe Foundation through computerized systems and international management. And we bring knowledge seekers to do so. We move from being an organization as we are to an organization to work directly between and amongst nations. And you will see this in the coming weeks upon my return to Iran. Keshe Foundation will become a space technology development, but through Keshe Foundation USA, through Keshe Foundation China, through Keshe Foundation Iran, we'll bring our governments to work together through Keshe Foundation. This is how we're breaking the barriers. The flags and the nations will go away, because through the knowledge seekers, we don't have any flags. We're all one nation, and world leaders are start seeing this. You will see this in the next few weeks, as the Keshe Foundation will merge as one of the leading scientific organizations in the world through research and development. We will still make the cups, we still make the fans, we still make the enhancement units, but our plan is much bigger in spreading the knowledge to bring a much more rapid development. We have changed course into the next level up, but we still keep our feet to the ground, that everything is done the same.
Well, of course, wishing the best success.
Our success is all of us, not just us. It's the
Best.
knowledge seekers who are doing the work in the back. We just set up the strategy.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you very much. There is something which I do not like to go to, but we have to go to. As many of you know, our situation with Italian company we have, and we have kept it. Many of you have been working or been in touch with the Keshe Foundation Italy, buying as agents or what we call people who were representing Keshe Foundation. We request you to send the Keshe Foundation office info@keshe.foundation any communication you had with the Italian company of the Keshe Foundation. Keshe Foundation manufacturing Italy. Many of you who were around Keshe Foundation, you know what we're talking about. If you've been sales agents, if you bought or you were buying and you were told to move or they have moved, as we informed you, Keshe Foundation invested millions in Italy and we were defrauded. The case now is going into criminal courts of Italy, and every piece of paper we have allows us to put these people away from doing this. Because if we allow people like in Italy to take, when the foundation invested everything and when it came to fruition, they took it, they set this company next to it and transferred all the customers, agents, and representatives, we will open the door for others to do so. For this reason, as we explained, Keshe Foundation has taken a massive response and steps, and we expect a criminal conviction in the next few months, maybe weeks, in Italy for those who run the Keshe Foundation. We just need more details if you have any, especially those who are sales agents for the foundation. If you see that the Keshe Foundation has changed position or we're moving to a new warehouse, please send this urgently to Keshe, info@keshe.foundation, that our lawyers and the prosecutors in Italy can complete the process, as we expect prison conviction for those who did this. In my recent visit to Italy, everything has been done, as we told you months ago, and we are in the last stage of arrest and imprisonment and everything else to return the investment of the Keshe Foundation back into foundation. And this is your investment. This is the money we invested on behalf of all of you, and was hijacked. And we told you we do not sit law. Our lawyers have taken the final steps, and within the next few weeks, we expect to see conviction, arrest, and imprisonment for those who betrayed the foundation. Please, if you have received any communication from September 2018 to June 2019, please forward them. It might be insignificant to you, telling you a new Keshe Foundation, new company, or a new warehouse, but is completing in a way for prosecutors in Italy to complete their work, that we can bring everything back into order. In a way, we are not looking to put people away. We are trying to set an example. When we trust you, the trust cannot be broken the way you have done, and you damage the work of the Keshe Foundation heavily. It slowed us down for nearly 2 years. Many knowledge seekers got affected by it, and now Italian prosecutors are ready to put these people away because it's against the Italian law for people who work on the contract with a company to set up a company and siphon the customers and technology somewhere else. In Italy, they have well covered this, and it's a very restricted criminal, what we call act, and this has been done as we have more and more information. We are very open about these things, and these people have written everything in the name of themselves, working for KF, but new size and new company. We cannot mention the name of the company. Many of you know, and many of the agents they set up now, they change that they are using gas plasma technology, but not using the Keshe Foundation name since we announced. This does not wash with the authorities and the legal frame. Please, if you have seen anything like this, received anything that we moved to new offices, new company, working for both companies, please send it as fast as you can to the info. Many of you supplied us with a lot of information last time, which allowed us to take these final steps. Many of you still have it, or maybe you sent it once before. Send it back to us. You received any communication from the Keshe Foundation, management, Italy, KF manufacturing, to us at info at Keshe Foundation that we can complete our process. We will let you know when the verdict of the court on the criminal actions was completed by the Italian lawyers and authorities in Italy. We have to set an example. We trust people, we share knowledge, and once they see themselves, they cannot betray the foundation because now the thing is done and they can work on it. And I set out to set an example for this with this group. It's your investment. A lot of developments came to halt when millions of investments literally disappeared. When it came to flourishing and the sales was there, they start siphoning the business to that company they set up in power. Now we are very open about it, and you will hear more, maybe even in Italian press. We will set an example for these people that they'll never do this again to no one. And this cannot be done by knowledge seekers. We invest on behalf of all of us, not on behalf of you to steal from the foundation. Any other question?
Thank you, Mr. Keshe. See here. We have a question from Liliana in the Q&A on behalf of the Hispanic group. Olga asks, what effects does the partial eclipse of the sun have on the making of the cups of life?
Not much.
Not much.
Not much. I think we had one today at 10:30, I was told by Azar in Europe.
Yes, I've heard about that as well in Canada, I think. Okay. Achilles has a question in the Q&A. Mr. Keshe has mentioned in the 148th Knowledge Seekers Workshop public teaching that if one wants to make a plasma generator, then a booster reduction and a booster is required. My question is that if the booster means increasing the potential difference and reduction means stronger magnetic fields than gravitational fields?
It depends on which, you understood fully correctly, but it depends on which end of the energy strength you set. If your gravitational is stronger, or is it you're looking for reduction on the magnetical, which is weaker? You got to understand at every point a magnetic field has two characteristics, one giving, one taking, and whichever of the two is stronger manifests itself that way. And it's always in the point of reference to where it's connected. In space technology, we see this as a positioning of the stronger stars in the center of the galaxies and the weaker stars at the boundaries of the galaxy. The stronger star, in trying to gain more position and a stronger position, or getting pulled by the center of gravity of the galaxy, will create a link with a number of solar system at the boundary, that in that process of interaction, they clear most of the energy, which is as a cosmic rays in the higher order interaction fields, that allows them to suck in fields, loose fields, which are in the cosmos. In a way, the stronger fields in the weaker magnetical gives the weaker gravitational with a stronger field of gravity. If you understand exactly what I'm talking about, you consider 2 points of references. And in that process, going from center of galaxy to the boundary, it's not just the same field which goes. The same field has both directions, so it's as a plasma field, but it absorbs the fields within its process of crossing as much as is going to and coming back from on both directions of the magnetical and gravitational. In a way, if I explain to you which we see it on Earth, the North Pole has a slightly higher temperature than the South Pole. But in fact, it should be approximately the same. But the flow field through Tesla effect, as we call it, and the heartbeat allows the more uniform fields of the strength of the field that they leave to be absorbed by the fields as they go through the planet. And that interaction with a higher level, the inertia of the planet on the North Pole, even you have ice on it, will allow higher temperature by slightly about 3 degrees to 5 degrees to be observed. And this a change of heat on the top, slightly higher than the warm on the bottom, is part of the resolution, evolution of the turning of the planet in part of its strength with the heartbeat. The temperature difference is actually magnetic field positioning with like a Tesla coil on 2 poles, where the field strength of one in conjunction with the central belt of the what we call equator, where there is a balanced fields dimension, creates the rotation of the planet. And in that process, the interaction of the fields in the center, creation of the plasma field forces in the center, with the outer inertia and magnetical field dictates the speed of the rotation of any planet on the feedback loop of the field forces. This understanding we use extensively in the flight system. We don't create fields to go through this reactor and just disappear. We absorb most of it back into that allows us continuously to absorb fields from the universe into the central core of the flight system. That's the only way you can travel without fuel across the universe for millions of years. You have to create a combination of the effects that allows the magnetical field to spiral and become partially gravitational of itself in respect to the position of the travel and the direction of travel. Where in one direction for me it looks magnetical, in the other direction for you is gravitational, even though we are looking both at the same fields. Depending on the position of the direction of the field forces motion from A to B or B to A. And if you understand this, you can bend any magnetic field if you introduce a third dimension to it, which allows you to become trajectory. And this is what, in that trajectory, the third field forces we know as inertia, which in the slowing down the fields leads to creation of a matter state of energy. But in a bigger scale, you can bend any field forces in the universe, be it the light or be it the, what we call cosmic rays of the higher order. This goes back into deeper space travel and how we structure our space reactors for flight in different dimensions and directions. We choose the trajectory by the introduction of inertia intersystem. We tested this in China, in the Chinese test. And with that trajectory, we could dictate what materials could be made or what conditions we can create. Any other question?
Good, thank you, Mr. Keshe. Let me see here. We've got Harold has an interesting question that talks about there are native people around the world who practice what he calls animism. They're known as animists. And that's basically that these people believe that all objects have a spirit. That's what animism is, apparently. So, do you have any knowledge of this, was his question. Well, in a way, all of the plasma teaching is about that soul in the center of, well, everything. All of the systems, all of the sun, the stars, the humans, the atoms, and so on, all have a...
Yes, I understand that, but what is he asking about?
Well, I guess he's asking, he's stating that they're native people that practice this, and do you have any knowledge of this practice?
Does he want to practice it?
I'm not sure. Maybe Harold should. I can open up your microphone or allow you to speak, Harold. If you do wish to go ahead, you can perhaps verbalize that question better.
Hello?
Hello, yes.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, my name is Harold and I live in Colorado in the USA. And there are people there's a tribe in a country called Niger, and they practice what they call animism. And what animism is, the people that practice that, they believe that every object, animate or inanimate object, has a spirit or an energy field around it. And that's kind of like what we're learning. And I was just wondering if Mr. Keshe had ever heard of any of these native people who practice that, and what's his opinion about it?
I came across this in 1990s. And then in a way, if you look at it in another part of the world, in taking further, we call it voodoo.
Yes.
And because I came to understand this in a very strange way when I was working in Gambia, in talking to people, and how then they can manipulate, or they believe in a power of the manipulation and the power of these objects. If you go to places like Gambia, they have trees which they believe have this kind of power.
Yeah, that's right. Mm-hmm.
And then when they build the road, the authorities, even the workers, will not touch. They build the road around the tree. In many places, in Africa, you see the tree was very small tree, and they build the road, and now the tree has grown. They bend the road around it. They don't dare to touch. They call it the holy trees, in the way of animism. And then they extend this into a lot of other things, objects, that they have a soul and they can manipulate this soul of the object. So, pardon?
That's exactly what I'm asking. That's what they believe.
Yes, they believe it. In a way, we call it voodoo in what we call in Caribbeans and that kind of thing, by making statues or creating thoughts and transferring thoughts and understanding the emotion of the object. And this is something we can believe in anything we like in that way.
Okay.
You see a lot of it in Nigeria, and they are very great believers of it. And I have seen it in Gambia, and I've seen it in Kinshasa in different way, but it's more or less the same path of belief.
That's correct. I got another little question for you. Do you, like, as being a knowledge seeker is there a way that we can learn to sense these fields around objects, or is that just something that just comes natural? Some people have it, some people don't.
Some people have it and some people don't. We all have it. But it depends if we have appreciated the strength of the field we can detect. You understand?
I understand.
So it's not the exclusivity of some can. Somebody can see only the orange light. You can see the blue light, but you cannot see the orange light. We all have this capability and this power, but we have to find out which bandwidth we are in. Some of us are good in emotions, some of us are good in understanding the water passage, and some of us are good in understanding the animals' feels, how they feel.
I understand.
We all have this knowledge. We are not short of it. It's just that we have to find out which strength of the fields we operate on.
I have another question for you. When planets in their orbit around the sun, like the Earth has an orbit around the sun, and like Mars, the closest planets to us, like when Mars and Venus, when they are close to Earth, does the magnetic field of those planets affect the weather on our planet?
They affect the general flow of the fields, yes. But doesn't mean that they, because our weather is the shape of matter state of the field flow. As I explained earlier on in the teaching today. It's just that those who, through the inertia of the fields, have converted their energies to matter state, we feel it as a wind or whatever you would call it. But in a way, yes, they do, but not to extent that we think. But of course they do. You got to realize the field forces of the moon makes the waters of the earth to move 2 or 3 times a day.
Yeah, the tides.
Yeah, tides. So it's no different with any other planet which we move near to or across from us and the solar system. But they dictate certain things and they dictate certain changes within the field flow. Or most of the way to understand it is easier is that most of the changes will come through allowing a freedom for the fields to flow out or suppression of the fields through their closeness. And this suppression of the fields coming out of the planet or being pushed into the planet from different polarity condition, consequently in interaction with the inertia plasma of the field of the planet will have an effect on the planet, yes. But again, depends. But if we study the weather condition when all the planetary system are on the same line in the solar system, and it happened, let's say, every 100 years or so, that in that 100 years, what kind of weather do we see? We have never studied this. That lining of the stars, what weathers we expect. They're not always in the same place, but when they align, what pressures they put on the pressure on the magnetic field of the Earth, what they call it, coming out of the planet, and how much would get dispersed. And these fields, somewhere as a plasmatic field with the inertia of the planet, will create new conditions. And we are not aware of it. But animal world, which doesn't speak and they rely on their field strength of what I call their soul, they do. Like we were talking earlier on in past few days, that the migratory birds have delayed their flights by 2 weeks this year coming further south because migration, because of the weather changes this year, has been extremely cold in Northern Europe compared to the other years. They've never known it so bad. It's the first time in the records. And like in Austria now, we had this. So these fields is felt by the birds because they work mainly through their soul side. So they migrate later because they know there's such an interaction. They feel they are more tuned to their feeling of their souls than we do. And they say, we have this, they have that.
I have another question concerning what you just answered. Do birds have like a built-in Magrav that allows them to fly, or they don't have that?
They have a field location. I taught this once, and one day we come back to it. You got to understand, how do they fly across half of this planet and land on the same tree, the same, what do you call, nest, year after year? How does this can happen? Unless you have established a seed. When they build the nest with their saliva, with their whatever, they leave that little beaker that is connected to their soul, to the understanding of the position of theirs, and they come back to it. We use this technology now in the new air enhancement unit. In the new air enhancement unit, you get a separate piece with you that you place it somewhere in the room, which you create that flow. And the fields in going from one to another migrate. If you can understand this, so we create a condition of circulation. The fields continuously flow between the two. And they don't go anywhere else, because in the process of hitting each other, they spread around the room. We use this technology extensively in the Keshe plasma technology. Literally, we know how the birds work, but now we create the fields of it, but in a bigger version.
I have a couple more questions, if you don't mind.
We'll let you two more and then we go.
Okay. Rick answered one of my questions. I asked him, why doesn't the magnet stick to the earth or repel the earth? He said that because the earth's magnetic field is weaker than a magnet. And if that's the case, just based on some of the reading I've been doing, I thought when a stronger magnetic field interacts with a weaker magnetic field, there should be a reaction there. And
no. Let me explain two things which may be asked in knowledge. The gravitational magnetic field of the Earth is plasmatic. Okay. A magnet is a matter state.
Okay.
Two different things.
Okay, just like the beat of the heartbeat of a planet is plasmatic, and the vibrations and frequencies, that's matter. Same thing.
State. Yeah.
Okay, I understand. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Shall we call it a day?
Yes, certainly, Mr. Keshe. I think you've had a long day there, no doubt.
A very long day today, and very exciting day. We'll see you next week, back again to normal, to the 9 o'clock Central European time. When we arrive in Tehran, we try to do the teachings in a different way, in conjunction with the knowledge seekers, officials and scientists of Iran and the rest of the world in a theater form that participants can take part in and spread the knowledge in a much faster way. We hopefully be achieve that in the first couple of months when we arrive in Tehran. But we will not be exclusively staying in Iran. We set up the fire of the knowledge and we travel around the world. We expect to be in Romania on the 20th of July in the Romanian conference. And we are looking forward to have a conference in Arizona sometime in September. And after September, we stop our international travels till sometime March of next year. Then in that time, we strengthen the field of the whole structure of the Keshe Foundation worldwide in manufacturing and the rest in connection with the governments and the programs which we have set. So the Romanian conference and then hopefully the Arizona conference will be the last conference this year, where we meet with the knowledge seekers and the world scientists and that. Thank you very much for today, and we'll meet very, very soon, I'm sure. Thank you very much.
Very good. Thank you once again, Mr. Keshe, for yet another Knowledge Seekers workshop here. I'll remind people that we have the Testimonials meeting coming up on, it's Monday, June 14th. And that starts at 8 p.m. Central European time on the same channel that we're on now. And people are welcome to bring their testimonials of the plasma technology to make a record of it. And it's a way to help pay back for the for receiving this knowledge and the all the good things that come of it. Okay, and we also have the One Nation, One Planet, One Race for World Peace coming up on Tuesday of next week. That'll be the 15th, and that'll be at 4 p.m. Central European time. Okay, I think that's it for now. There is also the spraying on Sunday of the Gans waters, and that will be also, there's a Zoom channel for that, and it will be posted in the usual social media places. Okay, I think that's it for now, and I believe Dean will take us out with some final videos here. Thanks, everyone. See you next time.
Innovative, revolutionary, stellar development, purest universal knowledge in a transformative futuristic design. The Universal Body Enhancement Spaceship Unit. The very first new evolutionary spaceship technology has been rolled out for mass production. Our Universal Body Enhancement Spaceship Unit is constructed from high-quality materials carefully selected by our team of experts. Embedding the essence of the new GAN's plasma science and technology, it uses collective plasma field technology for changing and enhancing the environment of the body of the man. This new plasma enhancement changes the environment of the body to allow it to return to its natural, balanced, energetic condition, as in the womb of the mother, allowing every cell in the body of the man to find its natural, original field strength balance. The shape and field distribution in this new space plasma technology replicates the inner structure of the universe and replicates the balance fields from which the man was created at the point of inception in the womb of the mother, not only receiving balance in the physical, but also in the emotional sense too. For the first time in the history of man, a system has been developed and delivered which not only enhances the physical body of the man, but also enhances the emotional part of the user of the system, hence reducing and eliminating many problems that could not be solved in the world of science, to bring the body of the man into near perfection as at the time of birth. This new spaceship technology can be within the reach of every man today and can be ordered by medical practitioners, sports specialists, and healthcare centers. The Universal Enhancement Spaceship Unit, the future you have been waiting for, is here. The journey from space to spaceship technology has started. Every order is subject to a contractual agreement and might require additional accessories priced separately for applications according to each case. You can order or contact us at office@at.kfm.global for additional information. Hello. We are the Keshe Foundation. Our mission is to bring peace on Earth and join humanity with the universal community. We wish and work to bring man as equal to all beings in the universe. By teaching plasma science and technology equally to everyone, no one is left out and no one is abused due to lack of knowledge. By donating to us, you can help achieve this goal. keshefoundation.org/donate.
Shayla, how did the Zoom meeting go?